Good afternoon, I hope you are doing well. This is my latest mock that I'm going to be working on. It is a simple platform as you can see, but I'm going to be building onto it a small house-like structure. As you can see here, I've already prepared the stairs. I'm just going to be placing these down here, and I'm going to be building up some walls around it using these pieces. The build itself turned out to be quite a small build and more of a supporting build for some characters, but I think the overall product was quite interesting and worth it. I might later do a retake of this, just do a different voiceover and add clone troopers into it instead of medieval characters. I'm using here the studs and 1x2s technique I use in some of my other mocks to create this wet, mossy stone type texture. I learned this from Cheesy Brick Studios while he was doing his original Minecraft series, which, by the way, he's doing a new version of, so I can enjoy monthly episodes of watching his videos. And yeah, I must say, I'm really excited for this new series. Anyway, back to my build. I'm adding here some of these, I don't know what to call them, 2x3s almost, like these angled pieces, and then 1x1 studs with a stud hole on the side, um, and more on the other side of this mossy cobblestone type texture. Fun fact, I only have one of these little sand green 1x1s. I don't know why I only have one, but yeah, I only have one. I will, however, have to substitute it with some of these sand green 1x2s, which also really work well. If you do not have enough of one piece, just see what you can do to substitute it. I also happen to use this 1x1 dark green piece, which actually gets covered up in the end. A lot of this structure over here, this little bit of cobblestone and moss and that, it gets covered up in the end by a small stone structure, which it's okay, it looks okay in the end. Yeah, I'm also going to be adding, if you're wondering what these are for, I'm going to be adding some lamps, not lamps, torches, dim torches to this area. Okay, moving on, we're now going to be finishing up with the wall. As you see, we're just going to be adding some more 2x2s, 2x4s and 2x8s. Yeah, 2x8s. And then also some more 2x8s and 2x4s. We're just going to do this to fill up the structure. There's nothing going to be really inside the structure, just because there's not really any real need. We've also got this really nice fancy little door that we're going to be adding. I think the door in the end really makes the mock just look a little more interesting than just having a plain door without any sort of knob or that. I'm adding more of these mossy stone type structures. Not structures, pieces of stone here and there just to add some more interest. My idea for this is actually that it's close to the ocean, close to the beach maybe, so there's a lot of moisture just blowing onto this, making it wet. Yeah, as you can see here, we've got this stone staircase almost. It's missing the bottom step, but I later replaced that in the video. At the very end, I just placed in that step again. Moving back to the front, if I'm correct, I'm going to add the roof now. Yes, here we go. I'm just using a 2x12. Is that it? I don't know. I think that's 2x12 if I remember correctly. And there's some of these large sloped pieces on the side. Just to add like a stony texture, just like as if this is carved out of stone. Like instead of being built up, so it's actually carved out of stone. Yeah, I was just playing around with a lot of fun techniques here. Not really planning it. I just want to see what would happen if I add these different textures. A lot of cheese slopes, a lot of these angled slopes at the bottom here. There's that stone little formation I was talking about earlier. I had to change it a bit to make it fit. There you go, the smaller version. I think it looks quite good. Yeah, so all in all, I think the feeling of this, where it's like old, weathered type place, really got across quite nicely. I really like how it turned out. In the future, something I will definitely do is probably design the terrain a little different. I like how I did the terrain this time because it's in a style that I rarely do. I'm taking off yellow studs here to make the torches look more dim, less bright and shiny, just because I wanted it to be a bit more dim, less bright and shiny. And now we're going to start on, alright, the grass. I thought we were going to start on that part. So anyway, I'm adding here just like these old three-pronged grass pieces because why not? It's maybe old ground. These are weeds poking through. I later, in a separate video, I actually added some more of these as well as a tree, but I did not get around to that in this video. Anyway, we are finishing up the little rampart-like place on top of this, where I'm going to later add a soldier, and I'm also adding these cheese slips and 1x2s on top, as well as this angled piece. I'm not quite sure what to call it. We're just adding that, just making it more interesting. And then finally, this last piece at the back. We are now going to write the cheese slip. Always, yeah. Anyway, moving on. Now we're going to start adding some fun minifigures. No, more cheese slips? Okay, sure, more cheese slips. I've got how many cheese slip and 1x1s actually used in this mock. It's a lot. Yeah. Okay, and more cheese slopes. Really regret using this many cheese slopes. And finally, the first knight using Mandalorian torso as usual, and then the second archer knight guy who's going to be on top of the ramparts here, patrolling. Makes you wonder what this place is and why these guys are here. I don't know. I've not yet gotten that far. I'm thinking maybe occupying. And we've also got this little dwarf guy here with a hat. I have had this figure for a while and just never used him. And then also in the background, a traveler, maybe a bard or someone, just wandering the lands. Okay guys, I hope you liked this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video. Iron Wolf out.